All right, what is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to the very first draft in one of our leagues. It's the head-to-head ninth category league here, and we're recording this first draft so that you'll be able to see where certain players go, um, when certain players are picked, and maybe some insights as well. This is not a mock draft, so rarely or almost none are auto drafting here. Um, with 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes before the draft, everyone's already in. Um, no one's gonna be, well, I guess, quote unquote, experimenting here because this is an actual league. Um, anyway, my name is JJT. Komish is not here. He will try to join in, but there's no guarantee he will because he's out. Um, anyway, this is a league. This is uh, a league I will be managing. So yeah. So in case you're watching, and for those asking, all the leagues are full. We've got the final list of managers for all the leagues. We filled them up. We have 13 um, public head-to-head leagues. We have one Champions League, and we will also have an invitationals. So that's a total of 15 leagues. Yeah, Champions League this year is 16 team, and yeah, Champions League are composed of all the champions from last year's leagues, last year's 13 leagues plus the defending champ of the Champions League, and then the champion of the Invitation League. So yeah. Anyway, this is my first draft. I'm picking second in this draft. Um, I'm looking between Embiid and Luca. I'm assuming Jokic is gonna be picked first. Um, yeah, many have said that the last few picks of the second round is tough. I would say the last few picks. Oh, I mean the last few picks of the first round is tough. I would say the last few picks of the second round is also tough. So we'll see. This one goes 10 seconds into the draft. Let's go. I kind of like if Jokic gets picked. Um, I kind of like Embiid. Um, I don't think he will be as good as last year, but I think he's still gonna be solid this year. I'm thinking between Embiid or Luca here, but yeah, it's a one center league, so yeah, we're gonna pick Embiid here. All right, so let's see who will go next. So Luca goes three. This 4, 5, 6 is going to be interesting as well because different player I've seen different players get picked here. Fourth goes to Tatum, and I I'm a little bit worried about Tatum, to be honest, because of the addition of Kristaps. I know Tatum's a solid uh, first round player. It's just that offensively the usage is going to be spread out, unlike before, wherein there were two major offensive weapons. Now there are three, but that's okay. I mean, first round's still fine. Tyrese goes fifth. Yeah, I think that's these are the players. So Shea is the other one who's going into um, this range. I wouldn't be surprised if he see he goes there. I like Shea a lot. The way I watched the World Cup. I think if there's one player that influenced me into moving him up my rankings, I think that's Shea. Although I can see the good thing about Tyrese is that Tyrese has great assist numbers. So and assists are hard to come by. So Lamelo goes seventh, which is surprising because he's been going like the eight nine, as he was not has not been picked yet. Yeah, these are the tougher players to pick because of the risk tied to them. I would think Curry goes next. Yeah, there Curry goes next. I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis goes at the ninth. Oh, Dame gets ninth. Charles is picking. Um, yeah, if not Giannis, I think Charles is a Lakers fan, so I'm thinking he might be considering AD here. But let's see. I think he's gonna pick Giannis. Okay, for the first round, these are okay. So 10 to 14. This is a 14 team league. Oh, he went with KD. So interesting. KD goes number 10. Um, Easier to build as well. Just the uncertainty of having Beal there is just tough to own him. But yeah, still going to be a solid. I think still going to be a solid fantasy contributor. Um, let's see who goes next. Anthony Edwards goes 11th. A lot of people are high on Anthony Edwards. Personally, I don't like him in the first round. I think I like him better in the second round. I've said this in one of our episodes. Um, if as long as Cat is there, as long as Carl Anthony Towns is there, I think it's gonna be shared usage, shared in terms of the scoring. So yeah, Trey Sabonis, Yanis Trey Sabonis wraps up the first round. Sabonis very um, interesting first round choice. Mitchell, and then back to back picks by Calgary. Uh, Calgary Surge, Sabonis and Donovan Mitchell. Um, as far as the rank goes, it's not much player that's really at the weird position, too low. I think, other than Carl Anthony Towns, I think he's 39 here, which we also talked about a couple of episodes ago, where we felt that this is too low for him. So there, Kyrie, Trey Young combination, Giannis, Anthony Davis combination, Anthony Edwards, and Jaren Jackson combination. Interesting combinations. Let's see where Charles goes. Um, yeah, we might go Booker or Van Fleet, maybe. I don't know. Trying to see. So this is where my problem always lied. Late in the second round, Jimmy Butler's gonna be there. Paul George is gonna be there. Kawhi is gonna be there as far as the rankings go. That's why it's going to be really tough to pick among those. So I hope some player drops. LeBron's gonna be there. I don't like LeBron. See, told you. Charles went with KD, Booker, Dame, and Mikal, Steph, and yeah, let's see. See, now it gets tougher because the next few players in the ranks are kind of the risky guys. So, um, in one of our slow drafts, I had Paul George um, at the what pick is that? Yeah, there. Steph and Carl Anthony Towns there. Carl Anthony Towns, like I said, ranked really low here. I think this is just okay. I think that's a good reach already. I think he's done his work. Oh my gosh, I think I might end up with either Paul George, Kawhi, Butler. Oh my gosh, Bane goes next. I'm worried about Bane. Bane, I think it's going a little too high. That's just me. Okay, Markkinen gets picked. Everyone's trying to stay away from the one of these guys should will be picked here. So I'm thinking if I should go with Butler. For me, it's either Butler or Paul George, but I already have a Paul George in one of my leagues. I don't want to risk another league in case Paul George gets injured. So let's see. So it gets tough. If Fred Van Fleet falls, I'm gonna pick Van. But I'm thinking this guy Vin Diesel might pick him. Yeah. See, this is just a second round, guys, and everyone's having a hard time choosing. Everyone's trying to stay away from Kawhi, Jimmy, Paul George, um, because of their history. But like I said, there's really no better option, I guess. Yeah, there. Jimmy goes there. If you look at, if you look down, I don't think any of the next few players you'd want to pick over those guys as well. Uh, so let's see who beyond the boys will pick. If it's Luca, mm, so who did he pick? He picked LeBron, Luca. So now Van Fleet is there, which is I think is okay. Um, yeah, if Butler was there, I would have picked Butler. I don't want to go James Harden because of the Philly situation. He might not be as motivated um, unless he gets traded. So yeah, might go Van Fleet here for this one. And this tough because I might have to go Paul George after. Going Van Fleet. So let's see who J. Drew picks. He might go Harden. Um, or DeJounte. I'm thinking he or Paul George. If he goes Paul George, see his back-to-back picks. See, he went Paul George. Obviously, he went Miles. Um, now it's our turn. I actually don't like James Harden. Ah, what's up with James Harden? Um, but James Harden is gonna fall way down. He's gonna be of great value if he falls. But the thing is, we don't even know where James Harden will play. That's my worry. Should I go Kawhi? I'm thinking I'll go DeJounte here. So hard. See, this second round, I think the latter part of the second round is so hard. The upside of players like Paul George, Jimmy Butler, Kawhi are there. Second round, first round upside. And then the drop off is just big, right? Um, the drop off could be, but they're risky players. They're risky guys. So it's so hard to pick any one of them. I, I was really contemplating about James Harden, but thinking that James Harden isn't even playing anywhere at this point. I don't think he will ever play for the Philadelphia 76ers this, again. I don't see any trade scenarios for him at this point. Very quiet in that front. So it's so hard. Yeah, the Aaron Fox gets picked. See, everyone's now reaching Fox is, I think, um, you know, way down there. Vucevic is another interesting player. He's ranked um, around this range, right? 36, 37, I think. 34, 35, 36, somewhere there. But we talked about him as well. He's one of those players who played 82 games last year. Not sure if he's gonna do that again this year, but one of the more durable, reliable players. I think it's a little too high. I think someone's falling off here. I think, yeah, obviously James Harden is falling off by a lot, and anyone who picks him in this round is gonna get good value, especially if he finds a team, right? If they trade him early in the season. So we got Drew, and then Bam. If Kawhi drops to 55, I'm gonna pick Kawhi. I don't think he's gonna drop there to 55, but if he does, because I've heard Kamish uh, telling me one of his leagues, Paul George and Kawhi, fell to the 50s, which is crazy value already. So yeah, if he goes 50s, between the two, I think Paul George is a safer option. Because he plays when he can. Kawhi has always had, some injury, minor injuries here and there, and he doesn't play through any minor injuries. Or at least that's what we're made to believe. Um, Victor Wembanyama goes 35. Yeah, Wembanyama has been going high. He's been going at around late 30s to the 40s, I think. So this is not that much of a reach. Yeah, with it, you know, it's fine. Would I pick any one of these guys over Wembanyama? Yeah, I'd rather pick Evan Mobley over Wembanyama, to be honest. So Darius Garland goes 36. There, Evan Mobley. Charles has always been given the harder choices. So let's see who he gets. What's a good spot? I think I'm thinking what's a good spot, right? Given that yeah, given that I told you the latter the tail end of the second round is tough. The tail end of the first round is tough. So I think somewhere in the 5, 6 range is okay. Of course, know, you wouldn't complain if you get first pick Jokic. That's a solid player already. dominate as Anthony Edwards and Jaren Jackson. So who will he get? He might get Brunson here or Harden. Yeah, there. Popoy, I think we'll go for a guard here. Um, no better guard than Brunson so far, and it's already at the 40s, so I think that's solid value already. Not, it would have, of course, solid value would be just okay. I think he can, surpass that. Kawhi still there. See, it's Kawhi. LAAS has Trey Young and Kyrie. So he went Jalen Brown. Calgary Surge has Sabonis and Donovan Mitchell. Let's see who he goes next. Where he goes next. Ooh, what a reach. Alperen Sengun goes 42. He's on a back to back. Yeah, he won't get him. But I think it's a reach. But that's fine. He's always been a very high player. The thing about Houston, though, they got a new coach. Um, I've been reading some articles saying, or at least seeing some comments that he might not be as good, or they might not use him as much because of his lack of defense. But I think he's decent defensively, not great, but yeah, I think they'll play him. I think they'll play him. Jordan Poole, another player who many are expecting to really break out. Um, Here's my thing about Jordan Poole. I'm not sure if people still remember, but Kyle Kuzma is also still there. So the usage, plus they have Tyus Jones, the usage might be shared. So at the 40s, I'm not sure. I think it's a little too high for me. I think the 50s would be okay. 60s better. I like him at the 60s even more. I mean, I like Brunson over Jordan Poole, but yeah. Brunson has fallen. So um, DeRozan goes 45. Let's see. We have a string of centers. There, the guy I really like and hopefully would still be available is Tyrese Maxey. Unfortunately, I have too many guards. So let's see. So hopefully he won't be available for me. So I won't have a hard time choosing. Um, Brooke Lopez goes 46, little too high. Charles goes Kristaps. So interesting lineup here for Charles with Cade, Kristaps. I think Kristaps is injured at the moment. He didn't play in the World Cup, but I'm not sure if he's going to be ready for the season. He might be. That's still a long way to go. But yeah. So Hitchcock gets Jalen Brunson. So Brooke, I think it's a little too high, but I could see that why I could see why he picked him. Um, Dominate because of the blocks to support Jaren Jackson, and he doesn't want to mess up the free throws, so he didn't get Walker Kessler. But I think that's a little too high. But yeah, I could understand why he got him there. Nick Claxton goes 49. Chet Holmgren goes 50. Again, I have one guard spot, so if yeah, I think I'm gonna pick that, the one I said earlier, Maxi, and hopefully no one gets him for me. Jamal Murray, 51. Jarrett Allen. So now a bunch of centers going. Vin Diesel with Tatum, Butler, Vucevic. And then he went with Walker Kessler. So that's good for me because I was thinking he would be getting a guard. But no, yeah, that's great. Great news for me. Fox, LeBron, Luca. Might go DeAndre. I don't know. DeAndre is fallen off a bit, I think. His ADP is what? 53? Yeah, around this range. It's okay. I would have wanted Jarrett Allen as well. But there are some good centers later on. Um, just not sure if we'd still be able to catch any of them. So Zach Levine goes. Um, I'm looking at Maxi here. Then I'm thinking if I should go G. So hard. I'm also worried about OG's consistency. Right. Go Maxi. I really like Maxi this year, especially if Harden gets traded. I'm not sure if me picking him is because I just saw a workout video just a few minutes ago, a few moments ago. That influenced me. So let's see. I'm gonna get a guard forward here next. I am thinking. Ah, I was eyeing Josh Giddey, but he gets picked before me. I think I'm just gonna try to mark that as the best, next best guy, or maybe just go Scotty Barnes. OG's been dropping. The thing about OG is that last year he took a great leap. This year, but to be honest, there aren't a lot of great options. Um, so yeah, we go OG. It's not a lot of great options. I was looking at Josh Giddey. I like Josh Giddey as well, but yeah, let's see where we are good at. I think the field goal is not as good. Free throw, we're okay. So we need to beef up a little bit of the rebounding. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. Zion at 59. I was actually also thinking about Zion, um, but yeah, still could not pull the trigger on him because I'm still worried. But yeah, 59 is great value already for Zion, who has what, top 20, top 25, at worst top 30 upside. Yeah, we are on the fifth round, 60th pick. We are doing 12 rounds. And Banquero goes to Vin Diesel. Okay, in the sixth round, I'm looking to add a center with rebounding. Mm, Hopefully, we still get like players like Potel or Mitrov or I don't know, Capella maybe. Those are the guys that I'm kind of looking at. It's surprising to me Scotty Barnes hasn't been picked yet. Uh, he's usually a favorite. Chris Paul. There, Scotty Barnes gets picked. Ayton is another player who has somewhat fallen off, maybe because of the lineup changes that Phoenix Suns made with Beal there. But I think he's still gonna be solid at 60s, even this, especially at the 70s. If he's gonna be picked there, that's gonna be great values already. I think somewhere here in the end of the fifth round, he is going to be taken for sure. Franz Wagner goes to Christian. So interestingly, Christian has Victor and Chet Holmgren, probably the two players who's going to be battling it out for Rookie of the Year. And of course, maybe Scoot if Dame gets traded. Again, no major reach or surprising reach other than maybe the Sengun pick. Um, I felt was a little bit of a reach, but it's fine. It's okay. Not, I understand why he got him. All right. Charles is picking next. He's not gonna pick Aiton. He's not gonna pick Beal because he's got KD. And I think he might get. Uh, he could get Cam Johnson or Derek White. I just sense he's gonna go that route, or maybe. Oh, he went Jeremy Grant. Surprising. Komish is here.
Yes, I've been following some of the picks. No? I guess we're now in round five,
Round
end of
five.
yeah, end of round five, around the 60s to 70s range.
Yep.
So, well, when's your pick? Okay, so it's for a while.
Still a long way. It's far
Can we go?
away.
Can we go from the start so that we can have some instant
Yeah,
reactions?
yeah.
No? So, Jokic, Embiid, Luca,
Yeah, yeah,
Jason,
go.
Liberton.
Nothing surprising. Maybe
I
Sabonis in
guess
the.
I guess Lamelo going seventh ahead of Steph is a little surprising because well Lamelo's stock has been rising, so I think that's the biggest surprise. But Anthony Edwards for me is a little high.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think he's top 11. I think he should be in the second round, so that's high. Sabonis is okay. I mean, if you get to the 13, 14 range, it's really there's no clear cut first rounder. So I
Yeah.
think for me, if you ask me, Trey Young and Sabonis are my last two picks in the first round. No, so which is what happened here. Kyrie is another option there, which the Trey Young Kyrie combination is perfect. Although AD dropping to the who got Yanis and AD, I think I think that's a perfect combination. That's a very
Yeah.
good combo. I don't know how AD dropped that low,
Well,
but
because of Sabonis, I think Sabonis
I think it's
is the.
Ant. Yeah, Ant
Well,
also.
yeah, but he's been also going there in the first round, somewhere there in the first round.
Yeah,
So
I get.
just to look at the later picks, Buddy Hield. Huh?
But
Buddy
I don't
Hield
like
was
that.
picked the 60s.
Yeah, I don't like
Um,
Buddy Hield.
Marcus Smart. Aiton has been falling even in
Aiton,
our
well, I guess that's a lot of experts have been hating on DeAndre Ayton because he's the fourth wheel. We know that he's the fourth wheel. He
yeah.
doesn't block enough shots. He's not gonna get a lot of attempts. But as you said, I heard you from backstage saying that he's still gonna be solid.
He's
I
still
think
gonna
he's
be
still.
solid.
I think he's.
Especially if you pick him at 69,
Yeah, that's
70,
solid.
that's great value
That's
already.
value. That's value.
He's
Yeah,
still gonna rebound. He's still gonna
he's
score.
his rank is 52. No, so that's a little high if
Yeah.
you're really looking at, let's say, a roto value. But in head to head, there's builds. If you're punting blocks, I think Aiton is one of the centers you can pick because he's solid in the percentages. He gets very
Yeah.
little turnovers. He gives you 10, 11
Good
rebound.
free throw.
Yeah, a good free throw for a center. Probably 13 points at most, 15. So I think he's, as you said, double double plus maybe little turnovers, good percentages. Top 70 is just right. 65 to 70 is okay. So yeah, this is the right spot. Maybe a little higher is okay also. Looking at
Scoot
this,
gets picked
oh,
at
that's too high.
70.
Yeah, that's too high. Scoot is too high. You know, since we're in a draft, we're in an actual draft, when people pick players like Buddy Hield or Scoot Henderson in the top 70, that helps the other managers for me because
Yeah.
there will be value that will fall. Now there will be
Yeah.
value that will fall. I don't know who the top remaining players are at this point, but
Well,
there will
Bill's
be
still
value.
there.
Bradley Beal. I like Cameron Johnson. I like Bradley Beal more than, and Devin Vassell uh more than Chris Paul. Chris Paul has been picked. I like
Yeah,
those
Chris Paul has been
guys.
picked.
I like
I
those
think
guys.
surprising players that were picked. Yeah, Chris Paul. Um,
I I
mm,
I think Marcus Smart, Buddy Hield,
yeah,
in some ways
that.
Jeremy Grant, Scoot Henderson. As you can see here, Jalen Green has been picked also.
Yeah,
I think that's a little high also for my liking. So
because
there.
these next few players, not exciting players, right? Maybe Vassell is exciting, but overwhelmed by Wembanyama being there. Plus, he disappointed a bit last year.
Yes,
Derek
that's.
White, solid, not exciting. Um, that's why no one's picking them. The
I
players
think,
that were picked, there were, Jalen Green. Those are Scoot, the exciting potentials, I guess.
but that's too high. I mean, is a
Yeah,
rookie
Scoot is
guard.
ranked way too low. I mean, not way too
If
low.
you're gonna
He's
argue,
down there.
yeah, yeah, and I get that. But if you're arguing that he's a top 70 player, if Dame Lillard gets traded, let's assume Lillard gets traded. Even if Lillard gets traded, the inefficiencies of a rookie guard will show.
Yeah.
Percentages, Scoot is not a good 3 point shooter. I don't expect him to shoot two or three pointers. He will score maybe 1.5, I think, this season. So, couple that with poor efficiency, definitely high turnovers. There's no value for him to reach top 70, in my opinion, this year, even if he gets all the minutes, all the usage. Remember,
All right.
Paolo, Paolo Banquero
Yeah,
averaged 20 points last year, 20 something with 7, 8 rebounds. He wasn't even in the top 100. No,
yeah.
so as a rookie, it's really hard. So picking him at 70, I cannot agree with that. Even Marcus Smart and Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield,
That's too high. Those are too high for me.
even
Um,
Smart, I can see Smart if you build him right or whatever. But Buddy Hield, too one-dimensional player to pick in the top 70. Now, there are lots of specialist three-point shooters late in the draft that maybe you can get instead of Buddy Hield and even
um,
CJ. So
so Charles has been catching my eye because he got Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and now he picked Bradley Beal. So he
Bradley
has
Beal.
got three Phoenix players handcuffing each other, making sure if you're
Well,
not sure who's gonna be scoring, get all three.
I'm gonna tell you, we are not talking to Charles, but I think he just could not pass on the
Yeah, the
value of
value.
Bradley Beal at
Yep.
75. At 75, that's no. I can't emphasize this enough. That is so good. Even if he's a third wheel in Phoenix, he's gonna beat that. He's gonna be top 50. He's still top
Yeah.
50. No, he's still a top 50 player. So the upside is there. So just have just have to pick him. Just worry about the three players in the same team later on. Right now, what's
Yep.
important is get values at this point of the draft. We're at the point of the draft that you have to really find players that can be a top 50, top 40. There's upside. And also
I
managing
al-
your risk. Also
I
managing your
also said that aside from the latter part of the first round, the latter part of the second round is also difficult. Like we talked about, I think yesterday or the other day. Just because those are where the Jimmy Butlers are there, the Kawhis are there, the Paul George are there, the load management players are ranked. Those are where they are ranked, and the drop off from those rankings to the next tier is a little more significant than usual, right? That's why
Yeah.
for me, I found it hard to pick in the latter part of the second round as well.
I'm
Because
seeing Alperen Sengun. Was he picked in the third round?
yeah, too high,
Okay.
right?
That's too high. That's too high.
I
Well,
think Calgary Surge has been reaching for players he feels will break out this year.
uh,
Because he also picked Jordan Poole, I think a little too high.
well, I'm high on pool. So I don't think that's too high. I do think that's probably his max. I think that's
Hmm.
his 30 what is this?
That's
43?
just fair. Yeah,
That's 43. I think that's right. That's just right for me, because I'm high on pool. I know other people will not be as high on Jordan Poole, but I am high on pool this year.
I'm
But
not as 40 plus high.
I am there. I am there with Jordan Poole. But my problem with Poole is there is shutdown risk. There will be shutdown risk in Washington. Although we're not really sure yet, because we're not sure, maybe Washington becomes Utah of last year. People think they're tanking, but their roster isn't as bad really. They have
Yeah.
Kuzma, they have Poole, they have Gafford, they have Tyus Jones, so solid players. So maybe they don't suck, so they don't have to tank. But outside of the tanking worries, if there's no tank, Jordan Poole at 40s is very solid. It's very solid.
Okay, I'm up in a few.
Yeah, there are two picks left. No, this is the part of the draft actually where for me, number one, there are a lot of risk. You said second round, but here also the part there are a lot of risk in my opinion also. As you can see, Michael Porter Jr.,
Yeah,
Markel
I
Fultz,
mean,
Mitch Robinson, Miles Bridges is suspended for 10 games. So there is not really one player here
and it's so hard to pick. Like, who do I pick?
in this part
I
of
like Rozier, but I already have uh Maxi, Dejounte, and Van Fleet.
it depends on what build you are trying to. I didn't see your
Yeah,
lineup yet, but depends on really what
my
build.
lineup is Embiid, Van Fleet, Dejounte, Tyrese, OG, and
Yeah,
now
I
it's
think you have
Michael. So Mitchell,
with Embiid. I think you do need some big
some
man also to
rebounding.
help you.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you
that's why
haven't
I
really
was
had
eyeing
it.
on Mitch Rob, and then he gets picked.
I
Uh,
think Poltel has been picked also. I don't know if Mark Williams is still there. Mark Williams is there. I think at this point of the draft, probably the best pick. I
has
would
Potel been picked? Yeah, yeah,
Potel would have been my pick here, no, to help you, because
yeah.
the free throw shooting of Potel is bad, but it doesn't take a lot. So here, really, if you're looking for a big, Mark Williams is one
No,
of the
I'll
better.
get a big at the turn at the next round. I think.
Yeah, if you're gonna
Uh,
take a big in the next round, I do like
but who do
Chris
I
Middleton.
pick? Who do I pick?
I like
That's
Chris Middleton's
Middleton at
value at
80s.
83. I like that value, or Tobias. No, I like Chris Middleton is a better value than Rozier for me. No, he's, as I said, at this point you want somebody who can be top 50. I don't think Rozier can be top 50, but Middleton can. So he's one player I'm
Yeah.
looking at. you know, I'm just gonna talk. You know, you
Yeah,
think about what you're gonna pick.
yeah. I'm gonna follow. This is my first draft. I just some of these situations first time I've encountered as well.
Yeah,
Also the second pick. That's the
at
second
that
pick.
range, I think Middleton and Tobias are good options. Tobias from boring, now he comes back to the value for me. Because at the 90s, I think Tobias is a good value, especially if James
Yeah.
Harden reports to camp. I don't know, fat, overweight, or whatever. That's gonna help
Do you
Tobias a
think
lot.
Harden still play with Philly? I don't think he still plays with Philly.
He
I
won't
don't,
be traded before. I mean, Dame Lillard will be traded first. I'm gonna bet on that.
yeah.
Dame Lillard's gonna get traded first. So there will be, I don't know, a couple of games whether he plays or not. If he doesn't play, then
Harden in this draft fell to what's that, 30 something, I think.
well, that is too low though. If he fell to 30 something,
Yeah,
29, 30, 32,
yeah,
that is low.
32.
I think Harden, just because of the assists, not because of the assists, he still is a top 24 player. Meaning in 12 teams, he's a second rounder.
Right.
So
Who did he pick? Kyle
that's still my
Kuzma.
guy.
So I need some rebounding actually.
Actually,
And
yeah, I think at the rebound part, I don't know. It should be Duren, Mark Williams. Those would be your choices, the youngers. I'm down on Mitch Rob. I don't know if Mitch Rob has been picked, but I'm down on
Mitch
Mitch
Rob
Rob.
has been picked. I was initially
Yeah,
looking at him
I don't like Mitch
there.
Rob. I don't like Rob Williams. Not this year. So those are my the players I would prefer. No, those guys.
Actually, I don't like Mark Williams here, but I probably won't get him anymore if I don't get him
Yeah,
now.
you have
And I
to
don't think
decide.
if I look, yeah, if I look at the next few picks I have, I don't think there's much rebounding there. So yeah, I need to.
Yes, I think that's a good pick. 86 is good for Mark Williams. I have him top 80. Assuming the only worry for me about Mark Williams is Steve Clifford. The coach is really my worry. But last year, Mark Williams was top 130 already, 140, even in 20 minutes or even less, even with what Clifford was doing. There's no other center there in Charlotte. There's no Plumlee. There's
Nick
only Nick
Richards.
Richards. There's only Nick Richards, but I don't think Clifford is gonna Nick Richards Mark Williams this year.
You
No,
don't know.
we don't know that. That's the concern. But I think he's still the upside is just too much. It's now his second year, more experience. He's not as young as other young players because I think he came out in his junior or senior year. I'm not too sure. So I think Clifford will be okay with picking him. No, with
So
playing him. I mean,
so
play.
Tyler
Yeah.
Hero is still there. Michael Porter, Markel Fultz, Tobias, Miles Bridges. Those are the top five players still there, at least rankings wise.
Among these players, I do like MPJ, Fultz, and Tobias over Miles and Tyler. But Miles Bridges is already solid if he reaches the 90s, no? Because remember 2 years ago he was a top 50 player. Remember
Yeah.
that. Although he didn't play for a year and he has a 10 game suspension. So that is what's weighing on his value. But at the 90s, I think there is enough there to pick him and still gain from the pick, still gain some value from the pick.
But Jaden
Jaden McDaniel,
McDaniels gets
wow,
picked. I mean,
89.
Trey Jones gets picked. Well,
Yeah, actually,
we
those
might
even Tyus is too early. Tyus is too early. Trey Jones is too early. Uh, well,
because I
Jaden,
think
my God,
Vin Diesel is looking for some assists, and there's not much there. Well, Fultz can give you those.
I would prefer Fultz. I would
Yeah,
prefer Fultz. Now, again, just a tip. If you're already up to this part of the draft and you don't have enough assists, you have to punt it. You can't chase it and reach for players just because you want you needed some one category. No,
yeah.
that is the thing. I don't know who's the other player, but he has Kessler, Banquero. I think Jason Tatum is the first pick of Vin Diesel. So Vucevic, Jimmy Butler, there is just no way you can win assists at this point of the draft. I don't
Yeah.
care if Tyus and Trey Jones suddenly get 7 assists each. That's not gonna happen anymore.
And it's
So
not gonna be enough.
it's not gonna be enough. Some weeks it might be, but most of the weeks it won't. So it's a waste of a pick if you pick those players just because of assists, and then you're not gonna win that most of the weeks anyway. No, the Jaden McDaniels pick, I don't know why. Maybe he's trying to get steals or what, but that's too high.
Steals, Fultz can get steals, 1.5 steals per game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the
Projected.
Jaden McDaniels
I mean,
uh
stat
pick.
last year.
Yeah, I don't
Ja
know
Morant,
the
where do you pick Ja?
I'm not picking Ja. I'm outside of 100. If he's there, sure. At this point, like a couple more picks
He's
after a
gonna
couple.
pick. I think he's gonna be picked here in this round.
Yeah, I think so.
Someone's gonna pick him.
Yeah, so, I think so.
I
For
mean,
me,
I would have just picked Ja over Trey Jones if you're just gonna pick Trey Jones.
possibly. Yeah, I think.
I
I think
mean,
that
if you're gonna reach for Trey Jones, why not just take a risk on Ja?
I think the problem with this lineup was he doesn't have a point guard yet, no, in his roster. But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
but even so, I would have just gone straight strong punt and picked maybe a Tobias Harris and then or a Markel Fultz. Markel is somebody
yeah. Why
who
didn't he just go Tyler Hero? I
or
mean, it
Tyler
fit his
Hero.
build,
Yes,
right?
yes. The build is perfect for Tyler Hero. Point guards who are not really assist guys. No, so
Yeah,
later on there are guys like Jordan Clarkson. There are guys there that would have been perfect for the build because it's a scoring team. No, he has Banquero, he has Tatum, even Butler. So now the problem is because he picked Tyus and Trey back to back. The points will be a problem. No, those
yeah,
two are negative in points or even just neutral, a little negative, and that's back to back picks. So that will negate the strength of the team early on. Now the past few picks I'm not liking. Trey, Keldon, Jaden,
everyone's
Trey.
maybe reaching a bit.
Everybody's reaching, and I don't know why, but
What's the status of Tyler Hero? Why is no one picking him?
Tyler Hero people are probably thinking because Dame Lillard might come in, and when Dame Lillard comes in, they're not sure if Tyler Hero will be the one going out. If Tyler Hero will be the one going out, then maybe he gets a chance in Portland. But what if it's not? Then he becomes a sixth man or whatever. He becomes a fourth option. So maybe I think that's what's weighing on them. But also
But
lack of. I think he got injured late last year, so
yeah, he got
the
injured in the
hype is not
playoffs.
there compared to let's say a Tyrese Maxey. A Tyrese
Yeah,
Maxey who's going the 50s and people are looking at the other way. No, James Harden will be leaving. So it's
yeah,
gonna be Maxey's team. So that's the opposite uh, directions these two players are going, which I do agree. No, I agree Maxey should be picked in the 50s. I'm also high on Maxey. But Tyler Hero
yeah. I like Maxi.
at this point at 100, I think he's value. He's a good value already.
So
Good value.
Gafford, interesting as well. Gafford does not have center eligibility
Not
anymore.
yet. Not yet. But he will. He will get it. He will get it after a while.
Didn't he have center eligibility before?
Last year he did, but this year he somehow, I don't know what Yahoo is doing. He doesn't have it this year, but he will get it because I'm pretty sure he will be playing at least 10 games as starting center of Washington. He should be picked higher than Jonas Valanciunas and Klay Thompson and Keldon Johnson and Jaden McDaniels and Trey Jones.
Yes.
I'll just put it that way. So, well, that's a good value for Charles at least. Now again, things are things are still there on top. Tyler Hero, MPJ, Tobias, they're starting to be very very appealing, and you
Yeah,
will
but
see them
I
come
don't
off the
think
board soon.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to get
You never know
anyone.
because I don't know. Keegan,
Tobias, I might. Tobias,
yeah,
hopefully.
Tobias might fall to you. Keegan Murray is a good player, but I still think a little high. No, I think he's a little high. John Collins is definitely high. John Collins at
Jabari Smith,
100.
Jabari Smith, your favorite rookie last year.
Jabari Smith is okay in a punt field goal build. No, if you're punting field goal, Jabari will be somebody you can target. gives you some threes, rebounds, a little blocks, no, at the center position. So that helps your punt field goals. The
But
only
90s is
worry about
okay.
field goal is the worry about Jabari's is field goals. And if you don't look at that, plus the possible sophomore bump, sophomore improvement, yeah, it's okay. But if you're not punting field goal, that is early. No, we agree on that. But remember, this is head to head. So there are picks here that we might not agree on, but the
Could work.
manager,
Yeah.
the manager is doing something. No, they're
Yeah.
they're trying to do something. We cannot judge the pick based on just the pick on where it is, but we have to look at the team. That's why I can say the Tyus and Trey Jones I don't like. The Jaden McDaniels though, no matter what build you are, that's just not that's just not acceptable to be in the top 90
Did
no of drafts.
did he did he get injured last year as well?
At
He got
some point,
injured, right?
some point,
Yeah.
but
No, in the playoffs, they play in, right? He punched the wall,
oh yeah,
like
yeah,
broke
yeah.
his hand.
That's right. He punched the wall, and I don't know. He's more of a roto guy. He's probably the top
Yeah.
120 guy in
Yeah, but
roto.
you know,
110.
even if you like certain stat set of Jaden McDaniels, guys here left.
You know who I
Some
would pick
players.
instead of Jaden McDaniels? Draymond Green. Draymond Green.
Is Raymond
Uh,
still here?
I saw him. I think he was just picked, right? I think he was just
Oh,
picked.
he was just picked. He was
He
just
was
picked
just
as we
picked.
were talking about that. Yeah.
Draymond Green is way better than Jaden McDaniels. He's being slept on because he's old.
Plus Chris
People are
Paul's there.
maybe because of Chris Paul, but whatever stats Jaden McDaniels will do this year, I'm gonna guarantee you, Draymond Green will do it better and will
All
be
right,
high.
Westbrook. Westbrook got picked.
No,
What's that? 102? 102?
Westbrook is Westbrook. It's still the same thing. He had a good run with the Clippers in the last after All Star break, after the trade deadline. I mean, but I will never pick Westbrook this early. Around again depends on the build, but I saw Keegan
Charles picked the soon to be Filipino.
Philippine national team member Onyeka Okongwu. Charles is getting very good value. The only pick I'm iffy with Charles is Jeremy Grant early, no.
Yeah, actually I was surprised as well by that.
But everything else, Cade Cunningham, Kristaps. Kristaps people are afraid because of the plantar issue.
Yeah.
But for me, his plantar issue started from August. Actually, way before August, July, August. He didn't play in the World Cup because of it. We're in September. We're now 6 weeks after he was shut down. And we still have 3 weeks to go before the first preseason game. Another 2 weeks before the start of the season. That's that's 2.5 months. He should be okay. Should be okay. So I think he should is being picked too low.
All right. So the players we talked about earlier, Tyler Hero, Tobias got picked already. Kongwu got picked.
Well, Fultz is
Who
there. I like Fultz value. Zach Collins is also there.
I don't have forwards, so yeah, but I have to.
Zach Collins was ranked very low in the first iteration of Yahoo. And then suddenly people found out he's gonna start at center. Then he jumped all the way up. So I mean, he one of the biggest risers. But I still like Zach Collins. I like Zach Collins at this position.
I think I'll go for Zach if he's gonna be available.
Yeah,
I still need more rebounding. I think might not be enough with what I have.
Fultz is a great value already.
Yeah,
Very very good value. Some there, he was picked. I also like this guy. What's his name? Is that Christian? I like his picks. No, Vassell, Robert Williams. Even if you know, I mean, his blocks and steals are very solid.
mhm.
Threes, threes are threes is solid. Steals is definitely number
Yeah,
one in steal
for sure.
for sure. And then 3 pointers with Vassell, with Lamelo, with Wagner. If Wagner improves, he's gonna be fine. I think the only concern for him would be scoring. His points might be a little down. No,
Maybe he's punting that
maybe he's
now
punting
at
that
this point.
category, but he's strong in a lot of categories. The steals, blocks. I think even free throws, he should be somewhat okay. Somewhat okay. Some gonna be decent there. So assists with Lamelo with faults, very good also. I like what he's doing. I like what this guy is doing. I don't know him, but I like what he's doing. I like his team. I like his team.
So
So
Miles
Miles,
Bridges gets picked.
that's right. That's a good spot. That's also very good value. Miles can go.
Yeah,
Let's say he
outside the
doesn't go.
100 already.
Let's say he doesn't go top 50. He's still possible top 70. Let's say you bump him down 20 spots because of the 10-game suspension and because of his
Yeah,
rusting.
even top 80 is
Yes, even
solid
top
already.
50. Yeah. So there's around three more picks before you. I would guess that Zach Collins will fall to you. I think he will be there. I don't know who is in your queue. We don't have anybody in your queue. You're not listening to our own advice. Put
No,
people
because
on
we're
your own queue.
talking.
People will say you're not
Zach
listening
Collins.
to our own advice. But
No, we have it in our head already. Zach Collins.
I like Aaron Gordon, surprisingly at this spots. But now it gets tough. Now it gets tough.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually like Avdiha, but that's too far.
no, I don't know if this is too early, no, but the Thompson twins, Azor and Amen, at some point will be worthy because of your worthy gambles, no,
Worthy risk.
And Paul Reed, no. Because of your position, you're at 111, 114. Your next pick will be around, I don't know, 140s. I don't think Asar, Amen, or Paul Reed are gonna be there. So if you're gonna gamble on one
What's
of,
Paul Reed's position? Does he have forward eligibility?
yes, yes, forward. He's a
Oh no,
forward.
we
He's a
can.
forward. He's a forward. So I think if you want, it might be a reach, but at this point, if you want him for your team, I want him because you have Embiid.
Yeah,
So I
that
think, yeah,
I
you
was
call,
thinking that as well.
yeah. So I think if you pair Reed, Collins, Williams, and Embiid, suddenly you become strong at the big man position. No? Let's say Reed uh, pans out. I like him over the others. No, I like him over Al Horford, PJ Washington. Those are some of the bigs that
Yeah,
got though. So I
the
like to
upside
go
is not as
upside.
good.
Yeah, I like to go with the upside at this point. Ja is still there, but
I'm
uh,
worried though if I get Collins here and then get another big, that might be too big for me.
yeah, I
So
guess you have to
I have Van Vliet, Maxi, and Dejounte. So I might need,
some
a
assists.
few, yeah, some assists or
Assist at
maybe
this point,
some
one player
threes.
who's very solid in assists here at this point is Mike Conley. No, he's somebody again not being talked about a lot. Mike is a good source of assists at this late in the draft. So if you're looking at that
Plus some
direction,
threes. Yeah,
then Conley will be your guy because it's really hard to find
I'm
assists.
looking at, I'm looking at a player that would be able to at least support the Van Fleet Maxi.
Yeah, I think
Because if
Conley
I
would
get
be
another big, that might.
not
I'm
bad. If you get another big, it's also not bad. You're still solid. I like your team also. You're doing regardless if you go Conley, regardless if you go Reed. You can look at your standings where which stats you're projected to be low at.
Yeah.
If you want
Let's
to
see.
look at your standings, no? You're
I
fourth,
think we're just
so your assist is there a little low, but your
the
rebounds is
rebound. Yeah.
yeah.
And the
So
points. Mm.
yeah,
So if we go, our options would be Conley. Thinking if we could still get Reed later on.
well you can try and gamble on it. points. You know, sometimes you have to try to gamble this spot.
Yeah. Let's go Conley.
There are other guys here. We're now in the
How
deep
about
part.
three? Murphy.
Um, I
When's he
love
coming
Trey.
back?
Supposedly December. Supposedly December if everything works out. But even if he wasn't injured,
I think
no Zion, Ingram, as long
no.
as
If
they're
he
healthy.
wasn't injured, he would have been picked already.
If he wasn't injured, I think he would have been a top 100 pick, and I would not like that.
Yeah.
I would not like that because of not because I don't like him. As I said, I'm one of the biggest supporters of Trey Murphy since last year. I had him a lot of leagues, but last year was no Zion. Last year was a lot of injuries to New Orleans.
Plus, last year he was just picked up. I
Yes,
mean, right? He had a good stretch. A bad. He didn't start early, and then he had a good stretch. People picked him up, and
and that's
then he
similar to
did play
Derek White.
well.
Yeah, that's similar to Derek White. Last year, Derek White was 120, 130. I think sometimes
Yeah.
140. That's why people loved it when he blew up. You know, but now he's in the 70s. That's a little high for me. But Trey Murphy, going back to Trey Murphy, the upside is just I can't wait on somebody who I have to wait again. When he gets healthy, what if everybody's still healthy? Then he won't be a top 100 guy. So you have to wait longer, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean. I mean, it's different if
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody's injured like Jamoran or is suspended. When they come back, they're gonna be getting the minutes. They're gonna play. There's gonna be usage. So at least when you wait,
And
you know how long you have to wait.
and I'm really surprised no one has picked him up yet.
Maybe you can try the ADP. So let us see who are the top ADP players left. Aside from Jatre, Bobby Portis. In ADP you can see some players who have low ranks, but maybe it's because only of Yahoo making some mistakes in the rankings. No, so example would be who are the low ranks here? Well, Brandon Miller, but I don't like Brandon Miller. I don't know why he's being picked that high.
Because he's a
Uh,
rookie. Ben
Will
Simmons.
Barton. There, Ben Simmons. Yes, good example. I think you should cue him if he's available. If he's
Ben Simmons
available,
might just be all talk and no
it
game
doesn't matter,
anymore.
man. It doesn't matter. Your next pick is 140. If Ben Simmons is in the 140, that's basically
Yeah,
free.
yeah,
That's basically free. Obi Toppin. No, Obi Toppin. Benedict Maturin. I like Benedict Maturin. I like Toppin. You lack points. So Maturin is somebody
yeah.
that can
Maturin is good.
Toppin can help you. No, so
Let's just cue
those
these guys.
from these players that from if you do the ADPs, you can see players that are gonna jump up even if their rankings are low, and you can see which one you agree with. No, you agree with. I think Amen and Osar was picked because I'm not seeing them here.
There,
Oh, there,
Osar is
Osar is
still
there.
here.
Osar is there. I'm shocked. Osar is lower than Anthony Black, Jarvis Walker, and the other rookies. No, so that's a surprise.
Amen is still
Amen
here,
is
142.
142. So that's
Why is he
really good.
injured though? Oh,
He
he is
got injured in the
injured.
summer league.
Yeah,
He got
yeah, yeah.
injured in the summer league. So
I
um,
mean, Grady Dick is being picked 140.
I don't know why that's the case, but let's see. Let's see. No.
All right, Clarkson, Trent, Aaron Gordon, pick. Uh,
Aaron Gordon is my favorite there among that group. Aaron, if you we haven't did we do the Denver depth chart yet? We haven't done that yet, I think.
no, not yet.
If we look at their depth, they're very shallow bench. They lost Bruce Brown. So their bench is basically young guys, Peyton Watson, Christian Braun, or older veterans like Reggie Jackson. Aaron Gordon might have to play 35, 36 minutes a game this coming season. I've never been a fan of him in fantasy, but I think he's this year might be one of what might be his best fantasy season. Just because of the minutes and just because of the lack of depth of Denver.
All right, so Biel's best pick Miles Bridges and Ja Morant back to back. So
I wouldn't recommend that, but
To each his
Um,
own, I think.
I
Yeah.
think to each his own.
35 games. 35 games suspended between the two of them. There,
Uh,
Ben Simmons. Christian C picked Ben Simmons already.
Christian C is killing it. But I don't know if Ben Simmons is. Definitely punting points. He's definitely punting points right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's punting points. He's punting it already. So the only concern here maybe rebounds might not be enough. So I don't know if Ben's rebounding will be enough to help him here. But yeah, free throws also is now a concern with Fultz and Ben Simmons back to back. So and Robert Williams.
Yeah.
So I think he's now losing points. He's now losing free throws. So he has to, I guess, solidify the assists, the steals. Hopefully the blocks.
Paul Reed got picked after I picked.
Zach Collins.
I did.
So it would
Yeah.
not have reached you anyways. Yeah, Paul Reed is going up because the Josh Lloyd effect, as we call it. When Josh
Yeah.
Lloyd,
Everyone. Yeah. A lot of analysts are really high on Paul Reed.
a lot of them, but the time that he really flew way high is when Josh Lloyd had I
Yeah,
don't
for
know,
sure.
episode about him, where he was one of the highlight of that episode. But that's why he had to come out and do a disclaimer to telling people not to pick him in the top 100 just because he said something about Paul Reed. It's 120 after 120 for me at that range. If not, then you know, never mind.
So who should we target? We've got Maturin.
Got top in, no. Well, Schroeder at this point at one. If it comes back to you at 140, Zubac. Well, Nurkic still there.
Nurkic is still here because Nurkic is ranked 160.
That's a steal. If he comes back to you, Nurkic is a steal there. So whether you like him or not, you can put him in your queue because basically no risk. He's still a starting center. He's still a starting center with
He's
Lillard, without Lillard. No,
yeah.
his game has warts and all, but when can you find a guy who will do give you a double double in the 10th round? I mean, of a 14-team draft.
I think it's
So
because he's ranked 160. He's
yeah,
out of
people.
everyone's radar.
Yes, yes, he's
But
out of
he's
it.
not an exciting pick. He's
He's better than Zubac. No,
Zubac's
I
still
don't.
starting, right?
Yeah, he's still starting. But there's the Mason Plumlee effect. Now we
Oh
don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They have KJ Martin this year, not a center, but they might play small more. That's possible. No, they have Robert Covington. They have
Plus the rebounds.
Morris.
KJ Martin can
Yeah,
rebound. Quarter still starts.
yeah. Huerter starts. So I think Huerter is also another player you can target. It's a good
Yeah.
target here.
What's here? Quickly? No, we still have
The rookies are probably the popular
Kyle
ones.
Anderson.
It's okay also. But those players you mentioned plus the rookies will be my preference. But if they're all because your pick is still
Let's
15,
get one rookie. Like
15
I
pick.
think
Osar,
Amen is the
Osar. I think Osar and
is
Amen.
Osiris the better one.
Osar is the better one. Amen is the better one, but Osar has a better pathway to minutes. If he starts, the guy will be top 100. And that's but of course, again, the chances of him starting is slim. But well, at
We
least
talked
there's a
about
chance.
Amen. We talked about Amen during the KPJ news, right?
Yeah.
He could get some playing time because of that.
He could get some playing time, not enough to be picked very early because he's still coming off the bench. But at least now we're sure he will probably be consistently in the rotation. No, so that helps. Their player here, Kelly Olynyk. I think he might come off the bench for Utah, but again, just somebody to consider late in the draft if you need some more big man. No, so those are the guys. Jeremy Sohan, he's another guy. No, he's another player who could have a sophomore leap for San
Yeah,
Antonio.
he was quite good last year.
Late last year, he had a
Yeah, and then he
good
got
stretch.
injured.
But the problem with Sohan is, of course, Wemby starts at the four.
Yeah,
Zach Collins will start at the five. So he comes off the bench. Unless he starts at the three and Keldon comes off the bench, which I don't think
which
will happen.
is yeah
No.
would
So,
not happen.
yeah. So, Maturin has
Mathurin
been
got
picked.
pick. Jaden
Zubac,
Ivy, PJ Washington, Zubac, Portis, Mathurin,
Nasrid. I don't like
Nasri.
Nasrid. I don't know where.
Nasri is coming from a what ACL? I think he's coming from an
Yeah,
ACL
he's coming
injury.
from an injury, and then Carl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert are there. I don't know where he plays if they don't get injured. But last year we said, last year was the same thing. No, he would not have played if nobody got injured, and both of Towns and Gobert got injured. So he's still
Yeah,
gonna be, there's still chances that he will be
yeah, he's.
useful. He will be
But the
useful.
problem is he's not. He's really not a handcuff player because he's useless if both those guys play. He's a droppable player.
Paul Reed is the best handcuff player this year.
Yeah,
That goes without saying. Paul Reed was the best handcuff player. So at least you still have five players in your queue and 10 picks before your turn. For your sake, if you can get Nurkic and Werther, not the most exciting players. This is the thing. Another thing I want to tell the listeners also. Sometimes sleeper picks can, or value picks, or picks that can be jackpot picks, don't necessarily have to be rookies or young players. They
yeah,
can be players like Nurkic, who, if you pick him at the 140s or 150s or whatever, and he becomes a top 110, 100, that's 40 to 50 values already, ranking spots already. So that's enough. Even Huerter was a top 100 player last year per game. No, he
yeah.
had a good year. So if Jeremy can get him at 145,
I'm
146,
actually
whatever,
surprised he hasn't been picked.
that's true. RJ Barrett, I'm not gonna pick RJ Barrett
You
over
hate RJ Barrett. This is the 130s. I
even
know
at
you
the,
hate RJ Barrett, but
because what
you're
does he do?
biased.
I mean, no, it's not bias. And not just me. Everybody who, well, analyzes the fantasy really don't see what RJ Barrett does.
He
He hurts
scores.
your goal. He hurts your for percentages. He scores fine, but he doesn't even take a lot of threes. At least Jordan Clarkson can give you threes. No, Jordan Clarkson can give you even a little more steals or assists. Barrett doesn't.
Right. Nurkic got picked
Well,
by Charles.
Charles knows value when he sees one.
Yeah. I'm sure he was also surprised at the ranking of Nurkic at 160.
Yeah, actually,
Isn't
if
he
you look at,
injured? Is Nurkic injured? Did
no, he's not
Nurkic
injured.
finish?
He's not injured. Well, everybody in Portland was injured in the end, right? So, but
Yeah.
there's no injury there. That's the thing. If you're drafting with some managers who are smart, Christian C. I know Christian C.
Ah! Porter got picked.
Herter got picked. Charles.
Wait,
These
just
guys
to.
know the sleeper or the value picks. Horford, you can just queue Horford. I mean, at this point, at 140s, even Brogdon, I would consider
Yeah.
those guys. Those are replacements for Huerter and like, it's just how you do drafts. Somebody gets picked that you wanted. If you really want their stats, you can try to look at other players that can
Bojan.
supplement it.
Is Bojan starting still? No.
Bojan might start. They said no, he might be starting, but yeah, if you need scoring at this point, really, there's nothing wrong with picking him. Josh Hart, I
Yeah,
do
but
like
he
Josh Hart.
doesn't score though.
Yeah, but overall, he should have been picked way earlier. You can queue
What
some
round
players
is
who are,
this? Round 10. Alright,
yeah,
so
you
round
can
10.
queue some players who are like specialists, like Kevon Looney, specialist in rebounds. There are some specialists in three, so that When it's your turn, sometimes you can look at which players, which stats you need.
Yeah.
You can check on which stats you need, and then that's what you target. Herb Jones is there.
Just yeah, but Herb Jones was a disappointment last year.
That's true. But as I
And
said, you're not picking him top 100 this year. It's the same thing with Derek White. It's the same
no,
thing with Derek White.
but
And
the stats he gives are what?
well,
Steals.
the injury to Trey Murphy will help him. Will help him. Yeah, but it depends if you need like steals. Do you need it or not? No.
No,
If you don't,
I think I'm number one in steals.
if you don't need the steals,
Oh
then
wait. Uh, Yeah, I'm up there. I'm looking at the wrong stats. So rebounding, I'm low. Uh,
upside wise, probably Obi. Obi's the best upside pick there already.
hmm.
Okay, so since we're still waiting, just to give out some deep sleepers that
How about Javon Carter?
I have Javon Carter in my 16 team league. I didn't draft that well in that league, I should say. But
But does that mean I should not draft
no,
Javon
no, but
Carter?
the last few picks, or my last pick was Kyle Anderson, Javon Carter, Amen Thompson. I just went with some values I felt were the Javon Carter will probably start. He might not, do what he did in Milwaukee when he started. I don't think he's gonna do that, but he gives you 11, 12 points, maybe 4 assists, 1.5 to 2 3 pointers, maybe a steal. If that's the last pick of your 16 team league that you are in, for
Is
me,
Toppin starting?
that is the plan. I mean, it could be him or Jarvis Walker, the rookie, but I think they will start him first, and then I don't know if he can hold on to it because Jarvis Walker is good. Jarvis Walker is Paul Millsap reincarnated, so he's good. But as of now, Obi Toppin supposedly is the starter for them.
Um, Norm Powell.
Yeah, I mean, you know what Norm can do. It's okay. At this point, Herb Jones if we need steals, Norm Powell if we need scoring, Kevon Looney if we need rebounding. If you really want to go for the home run pick, which you can do in round 11, could
Yeah,
be
I
some
might
rookie.
go. I'm
Could
looking
be
at
some rookie.
Josh Hart first.
Yeah, actually, Josh Hart
Yeah.
is very good, very good value. Is he the
And
highest remaining
then
player, or is it
no,
uh,
it's rank wise.
rank wise? I think it should be Herb, no Herb Jones.
Yeah, Herb Jones.
Emmanuel quickly is also somebody you can consider if you're looking for points, no points, some assists, some trees. Because Herb Josh Hart is more for rebounds, no, more rebounding. Uh, who was picked?
Josh
I think
Hart was picked.
okay, there,
Seems like they heard us
in
trying
your
to.
case, I won't pick Javon Carter because I would rather pick Emmanuel quickly. If you're just gonna pick Carter, it's just me. No, if you're gonna pick Powell, I would rather pick quickly
Is
also.
Kevon Looney still starting?
Well, Chris Paul is starting, so there's a chance that Looney will come off the bench. No, they might
Mm,
play small. Dre might be starting at center, Wiggins at power forward. I think that's the projected starting five. Draymond, Wiggins, Chris Paul, Clay, and Steph. It's a very small starting five. So
Is
Kevon might
Avdiha starting?
no. I think it's Kuzma. Yeah. Avdiha should start. Poole, Tyus Jones, Gafford, Kuzma, Avdiha. Yeah.
All right, I kind of like Avdiha. Let's go Avdiha.
Yeah, I know you like Avdiha, no. I'm not too high on him, but this is your
But
draft, so you do you.
yeah,
Uh
Well, at this point, I don't see much difference. Maybe the upside with the others, other than the maybe others might have better upside.
Yeah, I don't like Abdiha more of the efficiency. No,
Yeah.
it's not that. For me, I'll take it if it's like it's a Kuzma. The usage is high. No, Abdiha's usage not that high, and then he's so inefficient, so he's gonna hurt you more.
So who's the
But
better Thompson? This
Osar,
is
for me,
round
Osar,
11, right? So round 11.
round 11. Osar is the better one. Osar from Detroit. Fantasy wise, the better player is Amen, but the chances for more minutes would be Osar. No, so I don't know if
Even with Kevin Porter out.
yeah, because there's Fred Van Vliet, there's Dylan Brooks, there's Jalen Green. No, there are already
Oh
three.
yeah, Dylan Brooks. I forgot about Dylan
There's
Brooks.
three entrenched starters already, for sure starters in Houston. But yeah, he could get the minutes off the bench, but he's not gonna displace any of those three. Let's put it that way. If he's able to displace those three, he's a star. He's a superstar. Osar, he's a Bojan is probably the guy ahead of him, and well, people already are saying that he might,
Ah,
Bojan off the bench.
I'll
So
take Powell first.
somehow I knew you would take a veteran first. That's just
Because
how
I think,
JJ
yeah,
drafts
because I think
more.
I'm just thinking this guy is what rank, what, 220. I don't think someone might just leave him there.
Charles will get one. The good
Charles
news
got
is yeah,
Nurkic.
the good news is you have two Thompsons to choose from. So maybe one of them falls to you.
I might end up just dropping them.
But again, I would rather pick Emmanuel quickly, although it was quickly picked already.
Not
No,
yet. Oh yeah, 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 he
no, he
was.
was picked. So I guess he was not in your. It was not your
Yeah,
choice
no
anymore.
choice, no choice.
No choice. So yeah, hopefully one of the Thompson twins, maybe
Oh,
Sohan, you
Tyree
can
Eason is
drop
still
in.
here. No, but did Tyree Eason play this year?
I think so. Again, I picked him very high in my 16 team league. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I experimented too much, I guess, in my 16 team league. I think I picked Eason in the top 130 or 120. I think there. I picked him very high. But you guys know how much I like Atari Eason's game. But
Oh, we're
uh,
leading the Roto ranking,
yeah.
but will
So
fall because many others haven't picked yet. That Josh Hart, annoying. I wanted Josh Hart.
surprised about Eason in this draft.
Yeah, surprised that no one has picked him yet.
Yes, I'm surprised that no one has picked him. But yeah, I know. Again, he's not gonna get a lot of minutes considering Jabari, Sengun. Houston is deeper. But new coach Udoka, I think Udoka would like him because Udoka is a defensive-minded coach, and Tari Eason is way better in defense than Sengun. I'm not saying they're gonna start him over Sengun, but maybe he gets some of the minutes off Sengun at the center position. Maybe he gets some. So that might be enough for him to be a top 130, 120 guy. Yeah, Sohan also. Sohan is a good late rounder. No, late
Yeah.
round flyer, in other words. Since we're waiting for the others before we complete the draft. Again, talking about deep sleepers, let's say specialists. Corey
Gordon
Kisper.
Hayward,
No.
Kyle
Yeah.
Lowry. Lowry's
Not,
still starting,
they said Tyler Hero will start. Lowry will
so
come off the bench.
Lowry will come off the bench.
Josh Richardson. Is Josh Richardson still there? Josh Richardson is one of my favorite targets. I didn't see him
Uh,
get picked. Was he
no,
picked?
most likely he's still here.
He's, I think, 200. Yeah, 202, 162. Josh Richardson. That I can heartily recommend to listeners, no, as one of your last picks, last two picks. He will start. They have said Tyler Hero and Josh Richardson will start. Now, even if Lillard comes in, I predict that Hero and some other of their depth will go out. So if that happens, Josh Richardson even becomes better. You know what this guy can do: 3 points. You know, he has some steals, he has some assists.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, that's another one of the better late round picks with upside. So
I like
there,
these rankings. I like Eason.
yeah.
Toppin starting. But what can
Toppin
Toppin
start.
do?
I told you
Toppin can
Charles
just
will get
score.
Thompson. I told you Charles will get one of the Thompson twins. Yeah, Patrick Williams there, another guy I like. Patrick Williams from Chicago, with upside. You know, of course, this guy always teases us, but never really,
I don't think
breaks
I'll be
out.
able to get Eason here. What does Toppin do? Just score, right? Toppin just scores.
Tapin is scoring. He's not really been doing a lot because he's not been getting the minutes. So we really don't know. We really don't know what else he can do. But we know, but for sure, he doesn't have the profile of steals and other defensive stats. He's mostly some threes, some scoring, and a little.
Ah, I know it.
No, so
Larry Eason just got picked. Josh Richardson starting?
yes, Josh Richardson. Lowry comes off the bench. Josh Richardson starting as of now. Colin Sexton, Kobe White. Those are another other players to consider. Quentin Grimes is another player I would be okay picking late in the draft. So those are the players I'm fine with going to the last round. There, Kobe, even
Harrison
Harrison Barnes.
Barnes,
Yeah, even Harrison Barnes. At this point, 160
Caris
something.
LeVert,
Nah,
DeAndre
Barnes, I guess.
Hunter,
Yeah,
Vanderbilt. Wait, what's the depth chart of the Lakers?
the Lakers have AD, no Vanderbilt. They have Reeves, LeBron, and D'Angelo starting. Off the bench is Rui and Christian Wood. No, they have Jackson Hayes. So they're kind of deep there. Isaiah
Yeah.
Stewart. Isaiah Stewart is there. No, there's still lots of value here, actually. This draft is way different than our draft in our 16 team. No, so
Because
Isaiah
it's a
Stewart,
16 team.
yeah, true. But Isaiah Stewart is a solid player. He's supposedly starting for Detroit. Solid enough already at this spot. Dylan Wright, but you don't need him. He's a steals guy. And then another player I'm gonna bring out here, Jalen Johnson, no, of Atlanta. With
Yeah, we talked about him.
John Collins gone, he might not start. They might start Sadiq Bey, but Jalen is a guy that has more upside. So if somehow, some way he gets to 25 minutes,
Nick
maybe.
Richards. Should I handcuff
No,
Nick
no,
Richards?
no. That's a waste. That's a waste of a pick if you pick Nick Richards. It's the last round. That's some of my co-managers were saying in our offline draft. You're gonna drop those guys anyways.
Yeah.
So why not go for somebody that has the potential to make you not drop them? Make you own them for the whole season. So Keontae George, I picked him up in another league. Taylor Hendricks, those are the rookies that you have to consider. Aside from the twins, Scoot Henderson, Chet, Victor Wembanyama, I think Keontae and Taylor and Jarvis Walker and Taylor Hendricks are the rookies that matter. No,
Where's Jarvis Walker? There.
yeah, Jarvis. Yeah. But since you're 10 picks, I think you're gonna get one of these guys because you have a lot of players in your queue. No, so one of these guys would go to you.
Oh, Jalen Johnson got picked as we were talking
Obi
about
Toppin.
them. Malik
Malik
Monk.
Monk. Nah, don't like that.
Javon Carter's still there.
Carter's been dropping. Carter's been dropping. In yeah, he was one of the players who was in the first ranks, was considered sleeperish. His ranking was there around 120, I think 130. But as the drafting season went along, his rank started to come down. Charles will pick one of the players in your queue,
Let's
I think.
see. Is he on next? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
next.
I would predict it's either Josh Richardson or maybe Sohan. Yeah.
Yeah, Sohan there. On cue, right on cue.
I tell
Wait,
Charles
is that
I can predict all his picks already. So with that, um, how many picks?
who's the best
Five.
one here? Josh?
Josh is the best one there. You can pick Josh
Then
Richardson last pick in the draft. That's
go. I don't think anyone's gonna pick Josh though.
There will be, unless these guys are not listeners of
Well, we
other.
haven't talked about yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. But yeah, Kyle Anderson is still there. Gordon Hayward is still there. Quentin Grimes is still there. You have solid options for a last round pick. Harrison Barnes is still there.
James Wiseman's still there.
Yeah, but
Isn't he starting?
depends. Could be Duren. Could be Duren
Oh yeah.
Stewart.
Isaiah
So
Stewart got picked.
that's a good pick. I don't like Stewart, but 160. That's insane. That's great value.
Who
This
else are hidden here?
this
Harrison Barnes is still there.
this
Put
draft
Harrison.
is different, I should say.
Well,
Uh,
every draft will be different for sure.
I mean, a lot of reaches, a lot of players falling because it's an early
Marvin
draft.
Bagley. Yeah, it's an
So
early draft. We can't start late because we have so many drafts.
it's an early
So
one.
some
That's why
some
you will
leagues
see.
really
You
draft
will.
early.
The good thing about early drafts is if you draft well, you can really get value. No, you can get good value because summer, I don't know, not summer training camp hasn't started yet, so there are no news yet about players who were impressing, who are the starters, who are in the rotation. No, so there are no news there. You have to do your
Actually,
own.
last year we started earlier. Draft started earlier, a
Yeah.
week earlier.
So five more picks.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's
Sure.
gonna pick Josh.
Harrison Barnes gets
Someone
picked.
picked Harrison Barnes.
Josh is 202. I don't think they're gonna scroll down that low.
Yeah.
But regardless, at this point, the four players you have there, one of them you can get. No, because there's just four picks. No, before your turn. I like the team. I like the team that you were able to put up, put together.
Might be missing someone here. Is Isaiah Jackson not relevant anymore?
Nah, no, he's not. As I said, they now have Jarris. They still have Jalen Smith. Dylan Wright, but you don't need steals. So Rashawn Holmes there. I guess there's really some players falling into the cracks. Rashawn Holmes.
Yeah,
There,
because
that
these Rashawn Holmes is someone who hasn't been relevant for what 2 years.
no, that's why I said your draft is different because he's going 120 in mock drafts. And in my actual draft, he went that area. No, around ninth round, around that range. Because I think there is a chance he starts in Dallas. No, the depth of Dallas before was a lot of bigs, but they gave up JaVale.
Yeah.
No, so now it's now Dwight Powell and him. at the center position. So he has very
Opportunity.
good chance, no, to get minutes again. And maybe, we know Rashawn was a top 30, top 40 just two
All
or
right.
three
So
seasons
who
ago.
was left for us? Amen got picked.
Ramon, Amen.
We'll just go with Josh.
Yeah, Josh is good.
If he's starting, then we'll go.
That's I would even pick Josh over Avdiha and Norm Powell. That's how much I like him. So that's a very solid pick for me, in my opinion.
Yeah,
In
because
Miami.
he's ranked 202. No one's gonna. Plus, he's an old player, not exciting anymore.
If you have somebody injured or tagged injured, you can put him in your IL already, IL plus.
Who was picked
And
last? Why can't we see the last pick?
still on the clock,
Uh,
right?
no, it's done. It's
Draft
done.
result. Yeah, they didn't.
Oh yeah, we can see it here. The last pick was. Oh no, still on the clock. Anyway, let's look at the
Anyway,
standings.
not bad.
We're third. Not bad. Anything can happen. We're bad at blocks. Anyway, this is still early in head to head. Anything can happen. Uh, but it was a good first draft for us. And yeah, see you guys again Friday. Friday, Commish will be drafting. So let's watch that. Uh, anyway, night, guys. Bye.